Back to Capitol Hill, where Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett faced hours of questions from lawmakers today. They pushed her on topics ranging from the Affordable Care Act and abortion rights to gay marriage and the election. The Senate Judiciary Committee has already scheduled a vote for Thursday. News Nation correspondent Joe Khalil is live for us in Washington, D.C. tonight with more on today's hearing. Joe.
Now, Marty, believe it or not, it's actually still happening right now. No fireworks in the sense of what we saw with Judge Kavanaugh. Certainly wasn't that contentious today, but you're right. Democrats did hammer Judge Barrett on questions about health care, which was certainly expected, the Affordable Care Act, also on things like voting rights and on things like abortion rights as well. So, yeah, that was expected. Democrats pretty clearly concerned about the future of the court. Meantime, Republicans on the committee and those that we're hearing from outside are basically unanimously really happy with what they saw with Judge Barrett today.
I don't have any agenda. I have an agenda to stick to the rule of law and decide cases as they come.
It didn't take long Tuesday for senators to ask Judge Amy Coney Barrett about how she'd rule on the Affordable Care Act and cases involving abortion rights.
Do you agree with Justice Scalia's view that Roe was wrongly decided?
So, Senator, I do want to be forthright and answer every question. It would actually be wrong and a violation of the canons for me to do that.
Barrett didn't directly answer how she'd rule on any specific case, which is typical of nominees. But she did distance herself from decisions by the late Justice Antonin Scalia, whom she called a mentor and whose philosophy she says she shares.
If I'm confirmed, you would not be getting Justice Scalia. You would be getting Justice Barrett.
Senator Amy Klobuchar was one of many Democrats who pressed Judge Barrett on her past criticism of the court's decision to protect the Affordable Care Act.
Do you think we should take the president at his word when he says his nominee will do the right thing and overturn the Affordable Care Act?
Klobuchar and others pointed to President Trump's tweets promising a justice who would overturn it.
He said also on Twitter that it would be a big win if the Supreme Court strikes down the health law.
A notion Republican senators and Judge Barrett shot down.
Have you committed to the president or anyone else that you will vote to repeal the Affordable Care Act if confirmed by to the court?
Absolutely not. I was never asked, and if I had been, that would have been a short conversation.
What I want is to have a judge who doesn't want to take away the job of a legislature that's accountable to the people.
Republican Senator Ben Sasse said Barrett's independence on the bench was one reason he'll support her confirmation, and why he says Barrett has support from legal scholars who often disagree with her.
The Notre Dame law faculty, as I understand, had people unanimously recommend you.
Judge Barrett did have a bit of a mic drop moment, at least as close as we can get with these, Senate confirmation hearings. Earlier, Senator John Cornyn asked her what she had in front of her. And the senator and many other senators around, had papers and folders, everything in front of them. Judge Barrett just had a very small notebook, and when she raised it up, it was clear she had written nothing in it at all. So no notes, no preparation, and there were certainly a lot of people who praised her for that. She was reciting complicated law and decisions that she had made all from memory, sort of her professorial moment there before the Senate. Now, there was a little bit of backlash for that on Twitter, saying that, maybe she came unprepared, but we all know Twitter is not real life, and the majority of commentary on that moment was very positive for Judge Barrett. Certainly Republicans loved it and highlighted it during the hearing today, guys. Reporting live in the Capitol, Joe Khalil, News Nation.